Today, I'm going to be talking about the 5 clear signs of attraction before your first date. And listen, guys, I understand how frustrating it is when you first match with somebody on a dating app or you've met them organically and then you're now trying to book that first date and things you really know in your instinct when things are not going so well and she's not attracted to you, but because you're so attracted to her, you tend to ignore these 5 things. That's what we're going to talk about in this video today. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kane. I'm the Silver Bachelor. This channel is 100% dedicated to dating advice for older guys. And if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and a notification button because I'm dropping a video every day. All right. I was inspired to do this video because last Saturday night, I was out with a few other couples. I was with a date, and these were people that she knows and she met along the way. And so one of the couples, I was asking them, I said, hey, how did both of you meet? And so he starts telling the story of how they met. And he tried to take her out on a date. And he wanted the first date, he actually bought tickets to a baseball game, which she was originally interested in. Now, there's a bit of a backstory on why she canceled, but she canceled the first date. She canceled the second date. And then to try and win her over, he found out that she likes Dark Horse, I think is the name of sporting wear. And so she competes in bodybuilding and fitness competitions and stuff. So he went out, he spent $300 on sporting wear for her and then booked that third date. So the good news, bad news. So I'll say this, that was super, super high risk. And he even said that. He said, man, I just dropped $300 on a potential first date and she canceled the other 2 and she could have just taken the athletic gear and left. However, the good news is it did work out. They've been dating for over a year now and now they're living together. So it is what it is. However, if it was my situation, oh heck no. If somebody cancels 2 dates in a row, I've gone on about this in some of my videos. Nope. I mean, I have a 3-strike rule. But in general, I go with my gut instincts on how I'm feeling and if there's connection. I'll get to those 5 things in a moment, but I have to share this other thing with you. So one of the stories I want to share was, and this has happened to me, man, so many times, and I know it's happening to you guys as well, okay? And that is where I either have connected with someone on a dating app or it's organic, and we now move over to Instagram, or I've DM'd them directly on Instagram, okay? So in this particular example, I saw her profile, thought she was cute, DM'd her on Instagram. And this woman, just to give you some context, was probably between mid-30s to early 40s, okay? I have a wide range that I'll date within, typically from 20 to 45, depending on the person, right? So she's, mid-30s, early 40s. I messaged her on Instagram. I had to follow her first because her account was private. So she follows me back and I'm like, okay. So then I went on to say, hey, it's nice to connect. And she gave me a 1-word response. And I'm going to go into the 5 things. And this is one of them. She gave me a 1-word response. Great. Something like this. So then I asked her a question. I said, oh, so how was your weekend? And I know that's kind of a close-ended question, but then she said, something nice. And I'm starting to twitch. And I thought, you know what? That's it. I'm going to go straight up and I'm going to ask her out. I asked her out and she didn't even respond to me. Like 12 hours later, but yet I could see she saw my post or my message. So I decided right then and there, this isn't going anywhere. And of course, she still has yet to respond. So many of you guys keep chasing a situation when you kind of know in your instincts that she's not into you. So the 5 things, number 1 is she gets back to your messages within a few hours. So I personally don't even like a 24-hour rule, especially if you've asked them out. They've seen your message and they're deciding not to respond. And it's hours and hours and hours of go by past one day. They saw your fucking message, man. They saw it, right? and they're choosing not to respond. Now, maybe they're busy, all these damn excuses. Well, you know what? You guys need to have an abundance mindset. When you have an abundance mindset, the tables are turned and you're like, wait a minute, I'm a valuable guy. I bring way more to the table than a woman does. And so, in terms of what you need to be thinking, okay, that you bring more to the table than she does, and therefore you're not going to tolerate any of these games of people taking their sweet ass time to get back to you, right? So that's number one. Is you can tell that she's clearly attracted to you when she gets back to you, typically within a few hours, maximum 24 hours. Okay, that's number one. Number two, she writes more than one word responses. My God, bro, that is seriously one of the big things that I've noticed is when a girl is not into you, she will respond very short and sweet, like one word responses. It drives me crazy. Now, you guys don't want to write her paragraphs, but if you ask her an open-ended question, which by the way, that's one thing you need to work on, is asking more open-ended questions instead of close-ended questions. Like say, so what did you do on the weekend that was fun? Instead of how was your weekend? That's what I mean. But in general, if she's sending you one-word responses, she's using you, man. That's been my experience. And if you're an older guy, they're going to just use you as an ATM machine because that's all they see you as typically. So number three, she books the date when you ask her out. And if you see me looking off to the side, because this is where I have my notes on my laptop and I want to make sure I cover everything. So number three is she books the date when you ask her out. Like, for example, you say, hey, I'd like to take you out on a cute date. I'm thinking next Friday at 7 p.m. What do you think? And then she agrees. She's like, great. Where she gives you this excuse, well, can I get back to you? Man, dude, she's just exploring her options. She's weighing her options. And by the way, I did a whole video on when you should book the first date. I suggest don't try to book the first date on the weekend. And I know maybe you don't have any plans on the weekend, but you run the risk of the most cancellations on the weekend because again, they're weighing their options, right? And they want to go with the best option they have for the weekend. So I typically like to book a date Tuesday to Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, and do it during happy hour. Happy hour is 4 to 6, and usually restaurants that do have a happy hour have discounted drinks and discounted food. So like I live in the United States, I live in Atlanta. They have specific drinks and specific food on the happy hour menu. And that drink might be like $8 American dollars and food $8 as well. And some of these happy hour places are actually really fantastic. So that's number three. She books the date when you ask her out. Number four, she says little things like this before your date. Hey, I'm excited to meet you. I look forward to meet you. But the key words you're looking for is emotional words like I'm excited to meet you, looking forward to meeting you because you seem nice or something like that, right? So that's great. And then the last thing is number five is she is communicating with you before the date. Like the last thing you want is you book the date, and let's say it's a Sunday and you're booking the date for the Thursday coming up, and then all of a sudden, nothing. Like you don't hear from her. Maybe you send her a text on Monday or Tuesday. You want to check in and see how she's doing or something, but it's silence. That's a bad sign, and it's usually a sign the date's going to be canceled. So if she's communicating with you, hey, how is your day going? That kind of stuff that you could tell she has a clear attraction to you. So hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know what you think in the comments if there's anything else I could have added. And most importantly, let me know if you have any topics you'd like me to cover because I post a video on this channel every day and I'm always looking for new content. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.